Hi, everyone. Thank you, Nicole, for the introduction. My name is Bethany. I'm an educator with Singer Sewing, and today I'm going to be showing you all about the Singer SE9180 sewing and embroidery machine. So this class is going to be a lot of information. We're going to go through both the embroidery mode and sewing mode and the accessories for this machine. So we don't have a lot of time to get through it all, so I'm going to do my best. This isn't going to be a class on how to embroider. I'm just going to show you what this machine is capable of, get you familiar with it, and maybe you can decide if this is a good fit for you. I truly believe it is. So I'm going to highlight some of the things that make this machine so unique and so special, and why we at Singer are so excited about this particular new machine. It just launched. It actually got on Michael's website today. We're so excited about that. So this is available through Michael's, which is why we're showing it to you today, but you're going to be able to see a lot more that's coming to Michael's along with this machine. I just want to take a quick second to let you all know that I have my colleague Amy. If you see Amy-Singer, she's my colleague, and she's going to be posting links to the things that we're going to be talking about today. If you have questions about anything that I'm showing, I'm going to do my best to keep an eye on the chat, or Amy will let me know, hey, can you repeat that or whatever, and I'll do my best too. We just want to make sure we get through everything. And I don't know about you all, but I am so excited to show you this machine. Are you excited to see it? Like, you're obviously here for a reason. Embroidery is probably what drew you into this class, to learn what this machine is capable of doing. This is a fantastic entry-level machine. So I'm going to take a second real quick and switch to this camera so you can see the front of the machine. And I don't know about you, and I want you to engage with me here in the chat. It makes the class so much more fun. But let me know if you have an embroidery machine or if you don't. And let me know if you're really interested in learning embroidery, if that's what drew you to the class today, because this is a brand new machine on the market. And I want also to just kind of ask you, what is the first thing you notice about this machine? So I know I just asked you a few questions, but let me know, like, one of the answers to those questions. What is the first thing you notice about this machine that stands out to you? I have never embroidered and hoping to learn. I'm definitely interested in embroidery. It's a computer and it's a sewing machine. Everybody's noticing this big, large LCD screen. So this is a 7-inch LCD screen, which is just impressive. This is our first Singer sewing and embroidery machine to have a completely touchscreen mode here. The only few buttons are going to be right here, which is your speed control, which we love. We have our scissor snips. We have our needle up, down. We have our back stitch, and we have our start, stop. Those are the only buttons on the front of the machine, but honestly, the scissor snip and the needle up, down can also be controlled right here on the screen as well. So this is just a phenomenal looking machine right off the bat. Now, I will say it's not a very big machine. Right now, I have it in sewing mode, meaning I have this attachment, our standard attachment. This comes off, you have your free arm, okay? You can still lower the feed dogs back here in the back. So if you wanted to do free motion sewing or quilting, if you wanted to attach a button and lower your feed dogs, you can. So this is what it looks like in sewing mode. This is it. In a minute, after we go through the sewing mode, I'm going to take this off, attach the embroidery arm so you can see what that looks like. And when you attach the embroidery arm, that is what will switch the machine into embroidery mode. Okay. So in sewing mode, we still have obviously our little compartment here. And you're going to have all of your accessories. A couple things that I wanted to pull out before class that do not normally come with a sewing machine is a stylus. So you will be getting a stylus. Now, if you have nails like I do, you can just use your finger. But if you are having trouble using your finger, you're welcome to use the stylus that comes with it. I recommend taking a piece of yarn or something and tying it to your foot control cord so this doesn't walk away. Ask me how I know. That's not my first one. And I've only had this machine for a little bit. The other thing that comes with this machine is going to be an embroidery foot. Now, some machines do come with a darning foot, which can be used for embroidery, but this one's coming specifically with an embroidery foot. So I pulled that out because we're going to be attaching that in a minute, but that is what you're going to notice first off. And then this is also a top load bobbin, which is really nice. I'm going to try to There we go. Turn that a little closer to you guys. And the other thing I want to point out that's different about this machine that you may not notice just by on camera is the feet attached to this machine differently than our other Singer machines. And there's several reasons for that, but in short, I'm going to kind of turn this. In short, the feet that come with this machine are not going to attach the same way as the feet on your other Singer machines do. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But just know that these accessories, like the zipper foot, which looks familiar to the zipper foot you might have with another Singer machine, is going to attach to this ankle a little differently. We're used to having that little spring release in the back. This doesn't have that. These just pull forward to release, and then they just snap right on to the front, okay? Oh, look, I got ink or something already on the front of my machine. Okay, so I just wanted to address that because I'm going to show you some accessory feet that you can get to go with this machine. And if you already have this accessory foot, you know, for another machine, you would need it this newer version for this machine. So that's out of the way. One thing I want to point out is some features on this touchscreen. So I'm going to bring it a little closer so you all can see. Does that work for everybody? A stylus is a good idea. Yes, it does helpful. And I'm going to use it today just so my fingers don't block your view. Okay, so one thing I want to point out here is, you know, we're used to either turning a dial for a mechanical machine to select a stitch, or we're used to hitting a bunch of buttons with a small screen on a computerized machine to scroll through. And, you know, we usually have a bunch of options that we have to look at, like either the machine top flips up and we have to pick that number. This is not that case. This is going to be different. So here, when you first go into sewing mode, this is what that screen's going to look like. And it's going to start with our center needle straight stitch. And we have a left needle, right needle, and then we have triple stitches and everything. So these are going through these different stitches. Now, one thing I want you to see is when I select a stitch, it shows that stitch here. And see how I kind of drag that? So if I pick a stitch, it's going to show it here. If I change the stitch, so let's say I want to come down here and change the width. So this is the width, and this is the length, and this is the needle position. So if I want to change the width, it goes up to 7 millimeters width. That's pretty big width right there for this stitch. This is just a zigzag. But did you see this get wider? It changes the look of the stitch right here on the screen so you know what it's going to look like. Let's go back the other way. There you go. And then maybe I want to shorten the length and make it really narrow. So now I've got myself a nice little satin stitch displayed on my screen. Now I can change the length this way, make it longer. How fun is that? And if I click that stitch again, it goes back to the original settings. So the scale is going to be, the width goes up to 7 millimeters and the length goes up to 5 millimeters. Okay. Now, the other thing I want you to note here on the screen that's very helpful, and one of the features I love about this machine that we don't normally get with computerized machines, is a picture of the foot. That's the A foot, which is our all-purpose foot. And that's what I have attached right here. It has the letter A right on the top right here. And so as you go through these different stitches and you pick different ones, it may, oh, now it's telling me to put the B foot on. And that's what that stitch looks like. So as you go through different stitches and pick different ones, it may say, hey, you're going to want a different foot for that. So this is the other thing you need to note here is this is our, you know, standard sewing stitches in this first category. So they're divided into folders here. And then our second folder is going to be more of our decorative and satin stitches. So I'm just going to kind of scroll through so you can see. Now, just for fun fact, because I love, you know, kind of geek out over this stuff, there is over 250 stitches on this machine. Not stitch applications, total stitches. That's a lot. And there's all the fun symbols. Oh, they've added some new ones. I didn't even know there was a little dolphin, but that's adorable. So we've got all sorts of fun stitches in here. I'm still scrolling. Then we've got buttonholes. We've got lots of buttonholes to choose from. We also have 4 different stitching fonts. Okay, these are stitching fonts. There are more fonts in embroidery mode, which we'll talk about later, but these are 4 different stitching fonts. And then we have a folder where you can save fonts. So if you have created a custom font that you're going to be using on repeat for multiple projects, you can save that font by clicking this little save button. Once you get your settings in place, you can say, not font, stitch. Once you save that stitch setting, you can click that little save and save it in here into this folder for your custom stitch settings. Okay, so you don't always have to remember what it was, and it'll always be there for you. So by scale, is it accurate as pictured on the screen? You know what? I haven't tested that, Elizabeth. That's a great question. And I want to say yes, but I honestly have not tested it. So that would be a great thing to test. If I had a ruler handy, right now within arm's reach, I would do it. I want to say yes. Let's do this. This is a 4mm wide zigzag stitch. And I'm going to, I got 2 pieces of fabric here. Now look, I'm going to hit my little scissor snip right there on the screen. I could also click it right there too, but it's just fun to touch the touch screen. All right, so I'm going to flip this over. I would say that that's pretty close. It may not be easy to tell on the camera, but yeah, I think it is accurate. I mean, it looks like my stitch is just carrying right off the screen. Do you see that? That's awesome. That would be really helpful. Yes, I think so too. I'm glad you asked that question because now we both learned something new today. And this is why I love doing these classes. All right, so now you've seen the sewing mode. Do we have any questions about sewing mode? Before I convert this whole thing into embroidery mode and we dive into embroidery, I just wanted to make sure we spent some time on sewing mode. If there was anything else you wanted to see, it does all the sewing that you would need it to do and then some. But I think the key things to point out is you can see the exact foot you need. So if I go to buttonholes and click button, look, there is my button foot picture. And there is my buttonhole. And I bet you if we stitched that out, it would be the exact same size. And then obviously you can adjust that size. So same with these fun fonts. Let's pick that. Oh, and now with the fonts, something I didn't mention is it does sequencing. A, B, C, D, E. Look at that. So I can just delete the ones that I'm not going to use. And we can type in whatever we want. And there's other symbols and shapes and lowercase and everything. There we go. I got to spell out singer. There you go. Now it's going to show it going down the side here because this is how it's going to stitch out. And then that's pretty much it. So we've done some memory sequencing lettering before in class on other computerized machines, like our Singer Heavy Duty 6700C. But to be able to see it completely laid out like that is really cool. And I just think that's amazing. I'm going to go through and see if I can add, just for fun. Look, I can add the little bow at the end if I want. That's really cool. Or I can delete the bow, and there's that adorable dolphin that I saw earlier. So I'm going to click on the little dolphin. So, I mean, you can add these fun symbols at the beginning and end of your wording, which is really fun as well. So, and then you're going to put on your B foot because that's what it tells you to do. Put on your B foot and it's going to stitch out just like that. So it's really cool that you can do simple wording and font and it has that sequencing. Makes it really easy. This machine does embroidery, yes. So this machine does sewing and embroidery. So if you're new to the class, you just joined us, we're going over this brand new Singer SE9180. This is a sewing and embroidery machine. I'm going to scoot it back a little bit. It's a little heavy because it's a substantial machine. We've got our 7-inch LE or LCD screen. This is bigger than my phone. So it's a big screen here. We have a little stylus that comes with it, so you can make all your selections, or you can just use your finger. That's what I typically do. And yeah, so we have all of these fun settings, and this is our touchscreen mode. Okay. Now, this does go into embroidery mode. So I am going to switch over to embroidery mode. It is already available for purchase. That's a great question. Actually, this is going to be available at Michael's online only, and they just posted it on their website today. This is a brand new machine on the market, which is why we're taking time in our class today to we're taking a whole class to go over this machine, because you really need to see it in action. So let's start switching it over to embroidery mode. And I'm going to let Amy link some things for you guys so you can go check it out on Michael's website. While I do this, so you can watch what I'm doing, I'm going to talk to you about it while I do it, and then we'll get to stitching out some fun embroidery. Okay, so to switch it to embroidery mode, because it's in sewing mode, you're going to remove this little part right here. This is, remember where our storage compartment is, right here along the front. There we go. So this is our storage area where we keep our accessories. You can take this off to be able to sew with that free arm. Okay. I'm going to sit this down on the floor, and I'm actually going to switch back to this main camera for just a second, because I want you to see the whole embroidery arm, because I have it right here off camera. This is it. Ta-da. It's not huge. You've probably seen other embroidery machines, and their embroidery arms can be really big. I feel like this is the perfect size beginner embroidery machine, but it doesn't feel like a beginner's because you can do so much with it. Okay. So one thing to see here is you see this little plug right here, and there's a matching port for it right here. That is what's going to switch it into embroidery mode. When I connect this to the machine, when you are not using this, this needs to be stored in a safe place. Okay. There is luggage that's going to be available for this machine, because they need to be stored, and if you're going to travel with it, which is great for traveling, it's not super big. They have special luggage to keep these embroidery arms safe and secure. Okay. So that's just something extra to note. So when I push this into here, you're going to see this whole screen change. There we go. Now it's telling me that my embroidery arm needs to calibrate. It says remove the hoop if there is one, but there's not. So I'm going to hit. It's calibrated, and now I'm in embroidery mode. It's that easy to switch it from sewing to embroidery. Now, when this is attached, you cannot go back to sewing mode. You would have to take this off, but usually that you don't want to, because this will get in the way while you're sewing. So you want to just use this for embroidery mode and then switch it out for sewing mode, which is really, as you saw, very easy to do. And I am going to kind of pivot this a little bit there so you can see it. Does it come with a case? It does not come with a case. It might have one of those soft cases in the box. I can't remember, to be honest. It does not come with like a hard case or anything like that. So that's kind of the answer to that question, I hope. All right, so now the first thing I'm going to do is switch out my foot and ankle for the embroidery foot. And I don't have the best dexterity in my left hand, so I kind of struggle sometimes with these tiny screws. So just be patient with me, and I'll keep answering your questions. And Amy is sharing links to everything in the chat as we go through this demonstration. All right, so I want to show you up close the ankle. Remember, we talked earlier that the ankle and feet attach a little differently than our other Singer machines. And this is what that looks like. So instead of having that spring release right here, they just pull right off the front of the ankle, and then they just snap right in. So they're still really easy to use, but the feet that we have for our other machines will not work on this one. So I just want to make you all aware, we have plenty of accessory feet for you to use with this machine, and it comes with quite a few. I think Amy listed those in the chat earlier. All right, so now I'm going to attach this embroidery foot. Get my tiny screw here. I guess it's not super tiny. I've definitely had to work with smaller little screws before, so it's totally fine. There we go. And you always want to take your screwdriver and make sure that it is in there nice and tight, especially this embroidery foot, because it is going to be moving up and down pretty fast. So I just don't have the strength in my left hand. I have to kind of use both. There we go. Okay, that's tight. It's not going anywhere. And then I can hold my needle and just make sure that it is clearing that foot completely. It looks good. It looks good. All right. Awesome. So I already have it threaded, and what I want to show you first is the hoops. Okay, so let's talk about what comes with this machine in regards to setting you up for success with embroidery. So obviously you're going to get your embroidery foot, the embroidery arm, but it is going to come with the largest hoop available, which is 170 millimeters by 100 millimeters. This is a good size hoop, especially for beginner embroidery and, you know, smaller embroidery as well. But we have two accessory hoops that you can purchase separately. There is a 100 by 100 millimeter. And then there's a round 40 by 40 millimeter. Now, before I get the questions, you're probably thinking, well, if it comes with the biggest, why do I need the smaller ones? Logical question. But let's just say you wanted to do a cuff or something small. You can't hoop the entire arm or cuff in this bigger hoop. So if you're working with smaller areas or a zipper pouch or something smaller that you want to be able to embroider, like the pocket, a collar, a cuff, little things, monograms, the smaller hoop is going to make it really easy to be able to hoop the smaller areas. Same for this as well. Sometimes having a bigger hoop isn't always the best for that project. So it's going to be based on your project. So you have 3 different hoop sizes to choose from, but it does come with the biggest hoop. Okay, so that's what these are back here. This is the 40 by 40 and the 100 by 100. So we wanted to make sure that you guys know that there's additional hoops available for this machine. Okay, some other things I want to point out that are going to be available soon before we dive into hooping. Actually, you know what? Let's dive into hooping, and then I can show you those things while it's stitching out, because it's going to take a little bit to stitch out something. So I'm going to bring this back closer. There we go. So let's pick out something to embroider. I'm going to do something. See, I need to keep up with my little stylus here. So here are my designs that are in the machine. Okay, there are over 150 designs already programmed into the machine. So when you get this out of the box, you can choose one of these designs and start doing your embroidery right away. So for today, I'm going to we'll pick this flower only because it's just the outline. Having to do multiple colors and everything and switching threads just takes longer, and we don't have a ton of time. So, but I'll just kind of scroll through, and you can see that there's quite a few designs to choose from. Some cute little kid ones too. Okay, so there are the preset designs. And then if you click on the letter right here, there are 10 embroidery fonts. 10. Okay, that's a lot to be pre-programmed into the machine. And if I were to click on one, this one has 2 different font sizes. So I have medium and small. Some of them have 3 font sizes. So this one has large, medium, and small. It just depends on the font. And then it also has uppercase and lowercase as well. So you can choose between the different fonts, and then you can choose what size you want to do. And then obviously we would rotate this to go this way in our hoop. So this is our hoop outline right here, okay? All right, so this is my design here, and I'm going to stitch out the flower instead of a font today. But if you wanted to add a font and combine it with this flower, all you have to do is go up here and there's this little save icon. Can you see that? I'm going to try to get you guys a little closer. Whoop. It's backwards for me, so sorry if I go the wrong way. All right, so this is a little save button right here. It looks like a floppy disk. Okay, if I click that, it's going to save what I've done so far, and then it's going to allow me to add a font. So see, now it's brought my flower into my font mode. And I'm going to go with a smaller font. And I know it's fall, but the flower reminds me of spring. And I'm going to hit that, and I can click and drag that anywhere. Now, my letters are a little funky. I could change how they look. You can change how close together they are. I would probably do more lowercase, but you can do a lot of editing. You can change where they're positioned. You can rotate them 10 degrees, 1 degree, 90 degrees. Like, you have a lot of control over the edit. I could curve them to go that way or that way if I wanted to do it the other direction and put it at the bottom. I mean, you can do a lot of really fun things. So you can combine fonts and the artwork as well to create custom looks here. Okay, so when you ask, can I do my own design images or words as vector drawing and upload? So we'll get to that in just a second, Gabby. I'm going to tell you how you can bring in your own designs outside of what's in the machine, but I'm going to go through what's in the machine first, and then we'll talk about that because that is definitely an option. Okay, I'm going to show you how in just a second. So now that I've got this here, I'm actually going to let's see here. I'm going to go back and I'm going to delete the font just because I don't want to stitch all of that out today. And let's go into, so this is where we can pick all of our different things, but now I'm going to go into edit mode. So I want to edit my flower here. Now the rule of thumb with embroidery is if this is at 100%, this design is at 100%. It says it right here. Okay, look, I'm moving it around. Then I can go increase that by 20%, or I could decrease that by 20%. You don't want to do more or less than, or more than 20% in either direction, because then it ruins or can mess up the integrity of the design. If you go too big, your stitches are going to be really far apart and it's not going to look nice. If you go too small, they're going to be so on top of each other, it's not going to stitch out nice, and you're probably going to end up breaking a needle because your stitches are too stacked. So that's why it won't let you decrease or increase more than 20% of the design here, but that's in the machine. Okay. Now, one thing to note is this little button right here below the trash button. It looks like our hoop. It's got the little square with the little side piece that attaches for the hoop. We want to tell it what hoop we're working with. So we're going to do the 170 by 100 because that's what comes with the machine. Something else worth noting is this symbol right here. This is the foot. This is their symbol for the embroidery foot. It looks just like it right here at the top, right on this face of the foot. So it's telling you like this is the foot you're going to need. It's going to tell you how many stitches are in this design. There's 1,669 stitches in this one flower design, and this is just an outline. Now, if you wanted to pick a different color, so I'm going to stitch it out in white. Well, now it's in white, okay? But then it's kind of hard to see what that's going to look like. So right here, this BG is background color. I'm going to stitch it out on red. So I can change the background color so I can really see what my lighter colors are going to look like. Okay, so I'm going to leave that just because it looks fun. Okay, now someone just asked, how do you know how many stitches there were? Right here, I know it's probably hard to see on the camera. It says 0 of 1669. There's 1,669 stitches in this design. It says 0 above it because as it starts to stitch out, it'll count how many stitches it's done, so you know how close you are to being finished, okay? And then right here, this little color palette, it says 1 of 1, meaning it's only asking for one color. If I was to pick a design that had multiple colors, it would tell me I have, 1 of 5 different colors, and I'm going to need to change my thread 5 times. Okay. And then this is telling me what the size of the design is going to be right here. 7.61 centimeters this way and 7.59 centimeters this way. Okay.
Bethany, do you know if you can change your settings to display in inches?
You know what?
We'll find out. Okay.
Let's look. So I have my little, I don't know if you saw that, but this little hamburger menu right here with the little 3 lines. I'm going to go to settings. There's screensavers, there's audio, which that was the first thing I turned off on this machine because every time you touch something, it would beep. So you can turn that off right there. It will detect a thread break. It does have the automatic thread cutter and a tie off. So I don't see that as an option there, but that doesn't mean it can't be somewhere else. So that's a good question, and we'll have to get back to that. Okay. So anyways, now that we've decided what we're going to stitch out, we need to prepare our hoop. So I'm going to switch to a different camera real quick. And I'm going to ask if anybody has any additional questions while I kind of move on over. We're going to hoop this one right here. And I've got some material. Now, before we hoop, when you are doing embroidery, you're going to need to have proper stabilizer for your fabric. We've talked about stabilizers before in other classes, and when we do more classes specifically on how to embroider, we'll dive deeper into stabilizers. There's a ton of resources out there when talking about stabilizers, but I have a cotton woven fabric. It's like a quilting cotton fabric, and I have a piece of sticky tearaway stabilizer. I prefer sticky tearaway because it's really easy to stick on. I don't have to use pins or safety pins or anything. And then it will just tear right off, and it's just a lot easier to use. But there are other stabilizers. And to get people started with this new machine, we did come out with a stabilizer multi-pack, which is a variety of different stabilizers. So it's a great one to grab when you first get this machine to go, hey, I don't really know all the different stabilizers, and this is kind of the more commonly used ones, and it'll introduce you to those different stabilizers, and it comes with some big pieces in here so you can get familiar with them and then start investing in the ones that you tend to use the most often, the ones that you like. Okay, so just wanted to let you know that we do have a little stabilizer pack to introduce you to stabilizer because there's a lot of choices. Now, someone asked, can you upload your own designs? Yes, you can, and I'm going to tell you how to do that in a second. But I'm going to go over that while this is stitching out so we can kind of do 2 things at once, because that's a whole nother feature on this machine that's super exciting. Okay, so here's my hoop, and I want you to notice a couple of things about the hoop. If you've never hooped anything before, these hoops are twisted screw hoops. There's also some hoops you've probably seen that have the little springs. These are twisted. It'll say right here what size it is. This is Singer 170 by 100. That is right side up. Okay. And if you flip it over, this is the underside. This is the part that like slides into the machine over here. Okay. So we're going to separate the 2 pieces by unscrewing this a little bit. You don't want to unscrew it all the way. Okay. And you're going to take this piece, which is the outside circle, the oval, rectangle, whatever you want to call it, the outside hoop, and we're going to lay that on a table. I'm going to adjust this a little bit so you guys can see better. There we go. All right, so that is flat on my table. And then I have my fabric here with my sticky stabilizer. There we go. It's okay if there's a few little bumps here. So I got my sticky stabilizer, and I want to put stabilizer down. You want right side up of your material. You're going to cover the hoop. You need a piece of material that is a little bigger than your hoop all the way around. Okay. Then you're going to take the inside piece, also right side up, and you're going to find the edges. This is kind of the fun part and takes some getting used to. And depending on the thickness of your material, you may need to loosen that bottom hoop a little more. Okay, so I'm going to just loosen this a little more just to make it a little easier and line up my fabric. We're going to find my hoop edges. Just kind of have to feel around for it. There's one. There's the other. I am sometimes not the best at getting these on easy the first time, but once you get it, it's like, oh, that wasn't so bad. Ah, there we go. Okay. So once you find the four corners, you want to make sure that your material is nice and tight. I know you probably see a little bumps here. That's just my sticky stabilizer. And you want to make sure that your corners are pushed down all the way so that they are level with this. So this side and this side need to be nice and level. Okay. So you want to kind of check the corners and the sides, and it's nice and tight. And we're going to tighten that just a little bit more. Okay. So that is all there is to hooping. This is what it looks like from the other side. One of the biggest mistakes I see people make is they want to hoop the other way so that this material is on the underside here. And while it makes it easier to see, you don't want this extra material underneath here because this is where this attaches to the machine. Okay. All right, so I'm going to move this a little closer here and readjust my camera for you all. We'll just see which camera has the better angle for what we're doing, okay? I have 2 extra cameras today. I normally just have the one, so I want to make sure you can see this machine from every angle possible. So here I am with my hoop and my little attachment. And to attach the hoop, the first thing you want to do is make sure that you are going to clear this foot. If you start to bump right here with the foot, you can just lift it a little higher with that foot lever back here. And then once I get, the hump of it past the foot, then I'm going to attach this right into this little disc. Let me bring you a little closer here, okay? So this attaches just like this. You do kind of have to be a little forceful and wait for it. There, it clicked right into place. When this snaps right into here and you hear that click, it's in place, it's secure, it's not going anywhere. This hoop is now attached to this embroidery arm. This is the arm. You want to make sure that you have complete clearance in your sewing space for this arm to move forward and backwards and left to right. If I push this too close to my wall, it's going to bump, it's going to mess it up and mess up my embroidery arm calibration. It's going to mess up my design and my stitch out. Okay, so make sure when you're using embroidery machines, you have room all around for this to be able to move freely. Okay, all right. So let me switch back over to this camera here. We've got our design programmed in, and I'm going to hit the green. It's just calibrating. Now, one thing I want to note is I'm holding this thread because I'm going to do a little quick stitch down and back up to bring my bob into the top. But when you are sitting here holding, this just moved. You don't want to put your arm on it. You don't want to put weight on it, okay? So I'm going to lower my needle. Actually, sorry, that was the wrong button. I'm going to, there we go. So now my bobbin came to the top. That's just personal preference for me, is to make sure that my bobbin is registered before we get going, okay? Now I am going to hit my little green start. It's going to tell me to lower my foot. Now I did pause it because I am going to trim my tail here before it gets too far. So I always let it do a few stitches and get going. And then I trim the tail and we get going. Now you can control the speed of the embroidery right here. I don't like to go too fast, but it can go fast. That's personal preference. Before I keep going, can you guys hear me talking over the embroidery? If it's too much noise, please let me know and we can do one or the other. Okay, Good. I am going to speed it up just a smidge and we'll keep going. All right, so while this is stitching out, I want to answer a few questions. Are there any classes or YouTube videos available after you purchase this machine? Yes, I am the educator for singers, so I am continuing to add content to our website and to our YouTube channel and our social media channels on this machine. This is a brand new machine, so you'll continue to see more and more content come out specifically for embroidery and the SE9180. We'll be doing more classes on like design and all of that too. So you'll be seeing much more. But this is a great beginner embroidery, but also advanced sewist machine. I think Amy said that earlier. There is an extension table. And it is an added accessory that you can purchase. So you can use an extension table with it for your quilting or bigger projects. I do have one here that I could show you after it's done embroidering. Something else that I want to point out about this machine, and I had several people ask it, is can I bring in my own design to this machine? So the answer is yes. This machine, you can do it two different ways. So first of all, this machine, I'm going to switch cameras real quick. Right here on the machine, there is a USB port. So if you have files on your computer that you've purchased off Etsy or you've made your own and you have them on a flash drive, you can plug them in, you'll access the folder and you'll be able to pick them and put them right into here and stitch them out. The other thing I want to point out real quick is you can see where it's stitching. Can you see that? I like to follow it around. And you can see the count right here is changing as it does the stitches. So we're up to 650 stitches so far out of over 1,600. So it's keeping up. And you can watch it. It's satisfying. You can just sit here and watch it work its magic. It's so cool. So the other thing I wanted to point out is this machine, and we'll talk about this more after it's done stitching because I want to make sure everybody can hear it. But this machine is Wi-Fi enabled. Sorry, I'm figuring out this backwards camera. So this machine is Wi-Fi enabled, meaning I can connect this machine to my home internet and I can log into what's called MySewnet. MySewnet is an embroidery software that we have that works with our machine. This is our first Singer machine to be Wi-Fi enabled and compatible with our MySewnet embroidery software. When you purchase this machine, you do get the platinum level of this subscription to our embroidery software for free. And I believe it's for 3 months. Correct me if I'm wrong, Amy, but I'm pretty sure you get 3 months free of the MySewnet software when you purchase this machine. The software is going to allow you to be able to create your own designs, edit designs, personalized designs. It is amazing software. I'm not going to be able to touch on the software today, but I am going to show you how I can log into the software right here from my machine so I don't have to use a flash drive. So everything I do in the software, any designs I save to my cloud in the software, I can find right here on the machine, which is amazing. And then I can search the entire MySewnet library of designs right here from this machine. So I don't have to just use the designs that are on this machine. I can access additional designs on the machine through the MySewnet software. And I know that's a lot to take in. We're going to dive into that a little more in a second, but it's almost done stitching out. Here's another question. Does the hoop size, the slide, so you can do multiple designs on the same piece of fabric without overlapping? Yes. So, I put this right in the middle. You could put this towards the top or towards the bottom and have room for other designs without having to rehoop if you needed to. Does it just use regular sewing thread? So in embroidery mode, I am using rayon thread, which is preferred for embroidery. Rayon thread is this really pretty shiny kind of thread that you see. And so it'll say rayon on the bottom here. So I'm using a white rayon and I'm using an embroidery rayon thread that is meant for the bobbin. It's a little thinner than the top thread. When you're in sewing mode, you can sew with whatever thread you want. Let's see here. You said you can purchase other designs from Etsy and elsewhere, but how do you do your own creations, such as from a photograph? Shell, that is an amazing question. As soon as this is done stitching out, I will explain that because I want to not have to talk over the stitching for just a second. So you can make sure you understand what I'm saying. It's almost done. We're at 1600 out of 1664. There we go. It's going to kind of tie it off. It trims my thread. It says your embroidery is finished. I'm going to hit yay. Thank you. I'm going to lift my foot. Now I am going to switch back to this other camera real quick because I want you to see how I take this hoop off. It's super easy. All right. Oh, I hit that with my chair after I tried to move it before I moved you. Okay. So this little button right here, I'm going to push down and I'm just going to pull. Okay. And I'm going to do it gently, and then I'm going to lift that foot a little higher to clear the hoop. And there is my design. And then I'm just going to untwist this right here to loosen it. Pop that off. There is my pretty flower on my red fabric. It looks just like my screen. I absolutely love it. Now I want to show you, I've stitched out a couple of other ones earlier. Here's a pretty pink flower. This is one of the designs on the machine. I think is so pretty. I love the bordered satin stitch it does around it. It does a really good job. And then I did a fun little spooky one because it's October. This is one of the fonts that is in the machine right here. And this little ghost is not in the machine, but I'm going to show you right now how to find him. And let's dive into that because I think he's adorable and your guys are going to want to see this. So I'm going to X out of my embroidery. This is my edit mode. Now, let me kind of reposition my machine to be a little closer so you can see the screen better. We're moving all sorts of stuff today. All right. So many cords on the floor. There we go. Nice and centered. Can you guys see this screen pretty good? My light's too bright. I'll kind of turn it away. Okay. So now I'm going to take my little stylus that I keep sitting down. You see this little cloud button right here? It looks like my MySewnet logo, and I'm going to click on that. Now I am logged into my personal MySewnet account. This is our embroidery software. Remember, this software comes free for the first 3 months. You get the platinum level. Like you can do anything and everything. So it's the perfect time when you get this machine to dive in and learn that software and upload your designs. Okay. Now I can do two things from the machine. I can, once I've logged into my MySewnet account, which I have. So once you get this machine, you're going to go to mysewnet.com. You're going to set up an account, let them know that you got a machine. It's going to give you your free trial. And then you're going to come in and log into that account on the machine. Okay. You're just going to go to the little settings here and it'll ask you to log in. Once you're logged in, you can access your cloud. So I can, any designs that I make on my computer on the software, I can save to my cloud and be able to access directly onto this machine. Or I can go to the MySewnet library. And here, your free trial is for 3 months when you get this machine. When I go to the library, I have over 9,032 designs that I can search from. In addition to the ones that are on the machine, these are in addition. Now, not all of these designs are going to work on this machine because we are working with some smaller hoop sizes. So that's just something you're going to have to keep in mind. Like this one is designed for 147 by 326. That's a pretty big hoop. So we wouldn't be able to do that whole thing, but you can break it up. This one's a 97 by 95. We could do that one in our 170 by 100 hoop. So you just kind of have to keep that in mind, but I'm going to go here to my little search bar and I'm just going to type in the word ghost and I'm going to hit search. And look at all my little ghosty friends. Does this one right here look familiar? Look at him. So cute. I pick him. I say open. And it's going to go to my embroidery mode and I'm going to be able to stitch him out. How cool is that? So you can search different designs and it'll, there he goes. So obviously I need to go in here and remove my my flower and all of that and start over. But yeah, that's pretty much how you do it. You just go in here, you can click on my little ghosty friend. and it goes right back to where you were. And there he is. And now I can stitch him out. Okay. So 90-day free trial of the embroidery software. Access to 8,000 plus designs, which when we looked at the library, there was over 9,000. They're adding new ones all the time. Also in the MySewnet software on the website, when you log in and create an account, there are a ton of free projects in there. And they're not all embroidery projects. There's all sorts of sewing projects. So they're really fun to look through. I want to make sure I didn't miss any other questions. Let's see here. Yes, you can save your work. So you can save. So here is where I click save to add more stuff to it. So I clicked here and then I can add fonts and other things. But if I want to save all of it and save it as a special design that I want to keep doing over and over and over again, but maybe not all in one sitting, I can click this and save it as a special design and it'll have it in a folder for that. No hoop attached, but I want to add a font. Which one did I use? I think I used this one. Boo. Yep, that looks about right. And just click and drag. And we're gonna tell it we're doing it in a 170 by 100. I'm just doing this really quick so that you guys can see what it looks like. That works. I'm gonna change this background back to white again. And there we go. So now there's my whole design right here. And that's what I stitched out before class. Super, super cute. Can you embroider onto your t-shirt? You absolutely can. You want to make sure you're using the right stabilizer and that you are only embroidering through one side of the shirt. So you're going to need to be careful of that when you're hooping. But yes, you can. Yes, you can. You can save the free trial patterns on your machine for future use. No, those MySewnet designs are exclusive to the MySewnet software. So if you don't continue your account, you will not have access to those designs anymore. They are part of that account. Now, anything that you purchase outside of MySewnet, obviously you can continue to use because you own those designs. You can purchase individual designs from MySewnet as well. And then you would own those and can continue to use them. Is the back tearaway? Yes, it is. So I'll show you on this one. Actually, let me switch to this camera. So this is the front of my little ghosty. This is the back. And this is a really big piece of tearaway. It was not necessary to do a piece this big, but I did. It just tears away. And what this does is it gives stability to your stitches. Because you have to remember when we do embroidery, these stitches are really stacked and close to each other. And it's a lot of stitches and it kind of weakens that fabric. So we want to reinforce the fabric with the tearaway stabilizer or whatever stabilizer we need for the fabric we're sewing. Now you can go in and pick all of these out if you want. And some of it is we even have stabilizers that are wash away, which are really fun to play around with. And so we have those. But now this is going to always look really nice on this fabric because these are gonna, it's been stabilized. Does that make sense? Okay. How much is a MySewnet subscription? That's a great question. We have different tiers. So what I would recommend doing is going over to mysewnet.com and looking at the different tiers, what you get for each tier, and then look at the pricing there because I don't want to tell you the wrong thing. But the thing is, different tiers give you different tools that you can use within the software. So some people don't need full design capabilities. They just want to be able to use the library or different features. So you can go and pick which one is going to be the right fit for you and what you're wanting to do. And then you can always change it because it's a monthly subscription. Okay. Oh, I'm so glad that you appreciate my explanation of this machine today. I was going to show you real quick. Let me kind of give me some elbow room. I got like 5 minutes left with you guys. So we have covered a lot. Like I mentioned, we have stabilizer packs. There is an extension table that you can get for this machine as well. So if you want to take the embroidery arm off and have more sewing room, this is a great option. And then we have a ton of feet that are going to be added to be able to have accessory feet for this machine. So we have the ruffler foot, because remember these feet attach differently than our other Singer feet. Non-stick foot, we have our walking foot. We have 2 different 1/4-inch feet. We have a regular 1/4-inch foot, and then we have a 1/4-inch foot with a guide, which is nice. We also have a clear, why are these slippery? We have a clear open toe foot for decorative stitches, which is helpful to see them. And then we also have a clear invisible foot, the zipper foot, sorry, clear invisible zipper foot. That's a mouthful. And then we have a ton of feet that come with it as well, like the zipper, regular zipper feet and those kind of things. Would you be able to do embroidered hats? Not on this machine. This does not have free arm embroidery. You're going to need to use like an industrial or a 10 needle, 8 needle machine to do hats. Okay. That's what these are not designed to do, those kind of things, those kind of projects, unfortunately. What does the machine weigh? I don't know, but if you go to our product page, it should be able to tell you that. It's pretty heavy because it's embroidery, but without the embroidery arm, it's not as heavy, obviously. So it just kind of depends, but it's a more compact embroidery. So compared to my big embroidery machine, it's pretty lightweight. I can carry it just like this pretty easily. I put one arm under this side and I use the handle to hold this side. 15.5 pounds for the machine. Amy coming in strong with the answers. All right, guys, I hope you guys have enjoyed this class. I'm going to wrap up real quick with you. If you need anything, you can reach out to us anytime. We do have another class coming up later this month in October in a few weeks. And Amy can drop a link to that so you can sign up. We have another new product that's coming to Michael's. It's called the Ditto. You might have heard of it. It's a all-in-one projection system for sewing patterns and garment patterns. And so if you've ever been interested in learning how to sew garments, this is an amazing product. I have one sitting right there. And my coworker, Amanda, who's our Ditto educator, is going to be coming on and answering and showing a full demonstration just like I did today, but for the Ditto. So you're going to want to tune in for that. And then our next sewing class is going to be in November. I wrote down the date and I covered it up. November 9th. We're going to do a quilted wall hanging project together. So I'm excited to do that with you all. It's going to be a fun little fall project to get you back into the sewing mode right before the holidays. And I hope to see you then. And again, welcome to the SE9180 beginner embroidery machine. Again, it's Wi-Fi enabled. It's touchscreen. You have full access to the MySewnet software right here on the machine. This is a first for the Singer brand, and we're so excited and we're grateful that we were able to bring it to you today here on Michael's Zoom class. So thanks for hanging out, and I will see you next time. Bye.